The routine that changed everything. Sarah Chen pressed her gloved hand against the observation window of Shackleton Base, watching the Earth rise over the lunar horizon. 3 months into her assignment as head geologist for the Lunar Mining Consortium, she had grown accustomed to the breathtaking view. Yet today felt different. The readings on her seismic monitor had been showing anomalies for the past week, and something deep beneath the moon's surface was calling to her scientific curiosity. Still staring at home? Asked Dr. Marcus Rivera, the team's xenologist, as he floated into the observation deck. His expertise in studying non-terrestrial materials had made him invaluable to their mission of harvesting rare earth elements from the lunar surface. Sarah turned from the window, her expression serious. "Marcus, I need you to look at something. The electromagnetic readings from Sector 7 have been off the charts for days. It's not matching any known mineral signatures." The two scientists made their way to the main laboratory, where screens displayed a complex array of data from their deep core drilling operations. Sarah pulled up the readings from their latest excavation site near crater Ptolemy, a relatively small impact crater on the moon's far side. "Look at this," Sarah said, pointing to a series of spikes on the electromagnetic spectrum display. "These patterns are too regular to be natural. They're almost like pulses." Marcus leaned closer, his dark eyes scanning the data. "That's impossible. Natural electromagnetic fields don't create patterns this consistent. It's like something down there is generating a signal." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Commander Jake Thompson, a former military pilot who now led their mining operations. His weathered face showed concern as he approached their workstation. "Chen, Rivera, we need to talk. The drilling team just hit something at the Ptolemy site. It's not rock, and it's definitely not any mineral we've catalogued. The excavation begins within hours." The entire team was mobilized for what they initially thought would be a routine equipment malfunction investigation. The mining robots had stopped their deep excavation at exactly 47 meters below the surface, their sensors detecting an obstruction that defied classification. Sarah suited up alongside Marcus and Commander Thompson, while their communications specialist, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, monitored from the base. The fourth member of their ground team was Pavel Novak, their engineering specialist, whose job was to maintain their equipment in the harsh lunar environment. The journey to crater Ptolemy took them across the stark lunar landscape in their pressurized rover. The crater itself was unremarkable from the surface, just another of the thousands of impact sites that dotted the moon's surface. But as they approached the excavation site, Sarah felt a strange sensation, as if they were being watched. "Electromagnetic readings are increasing," Marcus reported from inside the rover. "Whatever's down there, it's reacting to our presence." The drilling site was a perfect circle, 10 meters in diameter, with their automated equipment standing dormant around the edges. At the bottom of the excavation, something metallic gleamed in the harsh sunlight, its surface unlike anything they had seen before. "That's not terrestrial," Pavel said immediately, his engineering background helping him identify the unusual properties of the material. "The way it's reflecting light, the surface texture. This isn't from Earth." Commander Thompson activated his suit's recording system. "Mission log, Day 94. We have discovered what appears to be an artificial structure of unknown origin beneath the surface of crater Ptolemy. Beginning detailed investigation." First contact with the unknowns, the team descended into the excavation site using their portable lift system. The full scope of their discovery became apparent. What they had initially thought was a small metallic object was actually the tip of something much larger. The curved surface extended beyond the boundaries of their dig site, suggesting a structure at least 30 meters in length. The surface is seamless, Sarah observed, running her gloved hand over the material. No welds, no joints. It's like it was formed as a single piece. Marcus was taking readings with his portable spectrometer. The alloy composition is unlike anything in our databases. It contains elements that shouldn't exist in nature, at least not in these ratios. Pavel had set up his equipment to analyze the structure's integrity. This thing has been here for a long time. The way it's integrated with the surrounding rock suggests it wasn't placed here recently. We're talking thousands of years, maybe more. As they continued their investigation, Sarah noticed something that made her heart race. Along what appeared to be the side of the structure, there were markings. Not random scratches or impact damage, but deliberate patterns that repeated at regular intervals. "Everyone, look at this," she called, her voice tight with excitement. "These aren't natural formations. These are symbols." The team gathered around the markings, their helmet lights illuminating the intricate patterns. The symbols were geometric, consisting of interconnected lines and shapes that seemed to follow a logical structure. "It's a language," Marcus whispered, "or at least a form of communication. We're looking at evidence of intelligence." Commander Thompson's training kicked in. "This changes everything. We need to document every detail before we proceed. This isn't just a scientific discovery anymore. This is first contact." The spacecraft reveals itself over the next several hours. The team worked methodically to uncover more of the structure. What they found defied all expectations. The object was clearly a spacecraft, its design unlike anything humanity had ever created. It was sleek and organic in appearance, as if it had been grown rather than built. The engineering principles alone are revolutionary, Pavel said, studying the way the craft's hull curved and flowed. The material seems to be both incredibly strong and flexible. It's absorbed the impact of being buried without any visible damage. Sarah had been focusing on the symbols, photographing and cataloging each unique pattern. "I think I'm starting to see repetitions. These aren't random. There's a structure here, a syntax." Dr. Tanaka's voice crackled through their communication system from the base. "Team, I'm reading massive electromagnetic activity from your location. Something is happening down there." As if responding to her words, the spacecraft began to emit a soft, pulsing light. The symbols along its hull started to glow with an inner luminescence, and the entire structure vibrated with barely perceptible energy. "It's responding to us," Marcus said, his voice filled with awe. "It knows we're here." The team stepped back as the spacecraft's activity increased. A section of the hull, previously invisible, began to shift and change. What had appeared to be solid metal flowed like liquid, creating an opening that revealed the interior of the craft. "My God," Commander Thompson breathed. "It's opening for us." Inside the ancient vessel, the interior of the spacecraft was as remarkable as its exterior. The walls seemed to glow with their own light, eliminating the need for their helmet lamps. The space was larger than the external dimensions suggested, with curving corridors that led deeper into the vessel. "The architecture is fascinating," Pavel noted, studying the seamless integration of surfaces. There are no sharp angles, no obvious mechanical components. It's like the entire ship is a single, living organism. As they explored deeper, they discovered what appeared to be a control center. The room was dominated by a crystalline structure that pulsed with the same light as the hull symbols. Around it, surfaces that might have been control panels displayed. Flowing patterns of light and shadow, Sarah approached the central crystal, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. The energy readings are off the charts. This thing is still active after all these years. The moment she came within 3 meters of the crystal, the entire room transformed. The walls came alive with images and symbols, displaying what could only be described as a vast star map. 3-dimensional projections filled the space around them, showing star systems, planetary orbits, and what appeared to be travel routes between distant worlds. "It's responding to our presence," Marcus said, his voice filled with wonder. "It's trying to communicate." The star map zoomed in on one particular system, highlighting a planet that bore a striking resemblance to Earth. Then the display shifted, showing the same planet at different time periods. The team watched in fascination as civilizations rose and fell, as continents shifted and changed, as life evolved and adapted. "It's showing us Earth," Sarah realized, "but not just current Earth. It's showing us our entire history." The revelation as the display continued, the true purpose of the spacecraft became clear. The images showed not just Earth's past, but its future. The projections revealed a timeline that extended far beyond human civilization, showing the planet's destiny across millions of years. But there was something else in the display, something that made the team's blood run cold. The star map showed other worlds, other civilizations, and their fates. World after world had flourished and then disappeared, leaving only silence and darkness. "It's not just showing us history," Commander Thompson said, his military training helping him interpret the strategic implications. "It's showing us a pattern, a cycle of destruction that repeats across the galaxy." The central crystal pulsed brighter, and new images appeared. These showed massive structures moving through space, artificial constructs of immense size and power. They moved from system to system, and wherever they went, civilizations fell silent. "This is a warning," Sarah said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This spacecraft isn't just exploring. It's a warning beacon, left by a civilization that discovered the same pattern we're seeing now." Dr. Tanaka's voice came through their communication system, tight with concern. "Team, I'm detecting massive energy signatures approaching from deep space. Long-range sensors are picking up something big, something that shouldn't be there." The team looked at each other, the implications of their discovery becoming terrifyingly clear. The spacecraft hadn't just been showing them the past and future of Earth. It had been showing them why it was here, why it had been waiting beneath the moon's surface for someone to find it. Marcus stepped closer to the crystal, his scientific mind trying to process the magnitude of what they had learned. How long have they been coming? How long have civilizations been disappearing? The display shifted again, showing a timeline that stretched back millions of years. The pattern was consistent, inexorable. Every few 100,000 years, the structures would sweep through a region of the galaxy, eliminating advanced civilizations and leaving only primitive life to start the cycle again. Their harvesters, Pavel realized, his engineering background helping him understand the efficiency of the pattern. They're not just destroying civilizations, they're harvesting them, using them for something. Sarah felt a chill that had nothing to do with the lunar environment. And according to this timeline, Earth is next. They're already on their way. Guardians of an ancient secret, the voice from the stars, the crystalline structure pulsed with increasing intensity. And suddenly the team heard something that should have been impossible in the vacuum of space. A voice, clear and articulate, speaking directly into their minds through their communication systems. "Greetings, young ones. I am Kethera, guardian of the threshold. You have found our sanctuary as we hoped you would." The team stood frozen, their minds struggling to process what was happening. The voice was neither male nor female, but somehow conveyed wisdom and sadness in equal measure. Commander Thompson found his voice first. "Who are you? What is this place?" The crystal's light shifted, and the holographic displays around them reformed into the image of a being unlike anything they had ever seen. Tall and graceful, with elongated limbs and large, knowing eyes, the creature looked at them with an expression of profound melancholy. "I am the last of the Valkyrie, the civilization that built this vessel. We were not unlike you once. Young, curious, reaching for the stars with hope and wonder, until we encountered the Devourers." Sarah stepped forward, her scientific mind demanding answers. "The structures we saw in the star map, are they the Devourers?" "They are ancient beyond measure," Kethra replied, her image shimmering with each word. "When the universe was young, they were already old. They have perfected the art of harvesting civilizations, allowing them to grow and develop just enough to become ... useful." The displays around them shifted, showing the massive structures in greater detail. They were not ships in any conventional sense, but rather vast cities that moved through space, consuming resources and life with equal efficiency. "They come in cycles," Kethra continued. "Every 300,000 of your years, they sweep through a section of the galaxy. Your Earth is in their path, and their arrival is imminent." Dr. Tanaka's voice crackled through the communication system from the base. "Team, the energy signatures are getting stronger. Whatever's out there, it's big, and it's definitely heading toward Earth." The weight of knowledge Pavel looked at the holographic displays showing the approaching threat. "How do we stop them? There must be a way to fight back." Kethra's expression grew even more sorrowful. "Many have tried. The Zephyrians built weapons that could shatter moons. The Quellan developed shields that could protect entire star systems. The Morvani created technologies that bent space and time itself. All of them fell to the Devourers. But you survived," Marcus pointed out. "You're here, talking to us. That means there's hope." "I survived because I was not on our home world when it fell," Kethra replied. "I was part of a small group tasked with warning other civilizations. We scattered across the galaxy, leaving these sanctuaries on worlds that would develop intelligent life." Sarah felt the pieces clicking into place. "That's why this ship is here. You knew humans would eventually develop space travel. You knew we would find it." "Your species shows promise," Kethra acknowledged. "You have survived longer than most. Between harvests, you have spread beyond your home world, though not yet far enough. But you have something most civilizations lack when they face the "What?" Commander Thompson asked. "Unity through adversity. Most species become complacent as they advance. They forget how to fight, how to sacrifice for the greater good. Humans have retained their warrior spirit even as they've reached for." The stars, the displays around them shifted again, showing humanity's history of conflict and cooperation. Wars and peace treaties, disasters and recovery efforts, the constant struggle that had defined human civilization. "This is why we chose your moon for this sanctuary," Kethra continued. "We observed your species for thousands of years, watching you develop, hoping you would prove different from the others." The Devourer, Fleetdar Tanaka's voice came through their communication system with increasing urgency. Team, you need to see this. I'm patching through the deep space monitoring data to your suits. The team's helmet displays lit up with astronomical data that made their blood run cold. A fleet of massive objects was approaching the solar system from the direction of the galactic center. They were still months away, but their size and energy signatures were beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. 47 vessels. Commander Thompson read from his display, each one the size of a small moon. Projected arrival at Earth's orbital path in 8 months. Kethra's image nodded grimly. A standard harvest fleet. They will begin by establishing a perimeter around your star system, ensuring no one can escape. Then they will systematically dismantle your civilization, preserving the most advanced individuals for their own purposes. What purposes? Sarah asked, though she dreaded the answer. The Devourers are not merely destroyers, Kethra explained. They are collectors. They preserve the essence of each civilization they harvest, adding their knowledge and capabilities to their own. The greatest minds of 1,000 worlds serve them now, their consciousness trapped within their vessels. Pavel's engineering mind immediately grasped the implications. That's how they've become so advanced. They're not just one civilization. They're the accumulated knowledge of every species they've ever conquered. Precisely, and with each harvest, they become more powerful, more efficient. The cycle continues, and the galaxy grows ever more silent. The choice markers looked at the displays showing the approaching fleet. There has to be something we can do, some way to fight back or escape. Kethra's image shimmered, and for a moment, the team saw not just sadness in her expression, but a spark of something that might have been hope. There is one possibility, she said slowly. The Devourers have never faced a species that was warned. In advance, every civilization they've harvested was caught completely off guard. But you have months to prepare. What kind of preparation? Commander Thompson asked. Our most advanced weapons wouldn't even scratch those ships. Not weapons. Kethra replied. Preservation. The Devourers are thorough, but they are not omniscient. If a significant portion of your population could be hidden, scattered among the stars where they cannot easily be found, then your species might survive the harvest. Sarah felt a chill of understanding. You're talking about abandoning Earth, leaving our home world to save our species. It is the only way, Kethra confirmed. The Devourers have never failed to harvest a world they have targeted. But they have also never had to hunt for survivors across multiple star systems. Your species has one advantage, others did not. Time to prepare. The team stood in silence, the weight of the decision before them almost unbearable. They were being asked to recommend the abandonment of humanity's birth world, to scatter their species across the galaxy in the hope that some would survive. How many could we save? Pavel asked quietly. With 8 months of preparation and the resources of your entire civilization focused on the task, perhaps 1 in 10,000, maybe 1 in 5,000 if you were very efficient. The mathematics were staggering. Out of humanity's 8 billion people, they might save a few 100,000 at most. The sanctuary's gift there is something else, Kethra said, her image brightening slightly. This sanctuary contains more than just warnings. It contains the accumulated knowledge of my people and others who attempted to resist the Devourers. The crystalline structure pulsed, and new displays appeared around them. These showed technologies far beyond human understanding, faster than light travel, energy sources that could power entire civilizations, materials that could withstand the forces of creation itself. This is incredible, Pavel breathed, studying the technological specifications. These energy systems alone could revolutionize human civilization. Asterisk, with this knowledge, your evacuation efforts could be far more effective, Kethra explained. Your ships could travel faster, carry more people, and establish hidden colonies in regions of space the Devourers rarely visit. Sarah realized the magnitude of what they were being offered. You're giving us the tools to save our species. I am giving you the same chance we gave to others, Kethra replied. Some succeeded in preserving small populations, others failed entirely. The choice and the outcome will be yours. Dr. Tanaka's voice came through their communication system with barely controlled excitement. Team, you need to get back to base immediately. I'm detecting massive energy surges from your location, and something's happening to our long-range sensors. They're picking up signals from beyond the solar system. The message to Earther team returned to Shackleton Base in silence, each lost in their own thoughts about the magnitude of what they had learned. The crystalline data core from the Valkyrie ship was now integrated with their computer systems, its alien technology somehow compatible with human electronics. We have to tell them, Sarah said, as they gathered in the base's main conference room. Earth's governments, the scientific community, everyone. They need to know what's coming. Do we? Commander Thompson asked. Think about what we're asking them to accept. Abandon Earth, scatter humanity across the galaxy, and hope that a few 100,000 people can rebuild our civilization somewhere else. The alternative is extinction, Marcus pointed out. Complete and total extinction. At least this way, some part of humanity survives. Dr. Tanaka had been monitoring the communication systems. There's something else. The Valkyrie ship isn't the only one broadcasting now. I'm detecting similar signals from 12 other locations throughout the solar system. On Mars, in the asteroid belt, even in the outer planets' moon systems. Other sanctuaries, Pavel realized. They prepared for this. They wanted to make sure the message got through. The team looked at each other, understanding that their discovery had set in motion events that could not be stopped. The warning was being broadcast across the solar system, and soon humanity would learn of the approaching threat. We have 8 months, Commander Thompson said, his military training helping him focus on the practical aspects of their situation. 8 months to convince 8 billion people to abandon their home world and scatter across the galaxy. Sarah activated the base's deep space communication array. Then we better start now. Earth Control, this is Shackleton Base. We have a Priority 1 discovery to report. The survival of the human species depends on your immediate attention. As the signal traveled across the void toward Earth, the team watched the approaching energy signatures of the Devourer fleet. 8 months. To save humanity, 8 months to do the impossible. The countdown had begun. The end, asterisk,